With its first operational deployment, the USS Gerald R Ford has successfully deployed a new range of technologies that make it the largest, most costly and most advanced aircraft carrier ever constructed. In spite of past criticism from the Pentagon's top weapons tester, the new technologies integrated into the USN's latest aircraft carrier have proven valuable during its first operational deployment. We're going to look at what currently sits as the most expensive aircraft carrier in the world, including its components and its specifications. Here at Channel Name, we're dedicated to giving you fantastic facts about both famous and lesser-known historical technological advances. In addition to learning about the processes underlying the production of these technologies, you'll also learn about the newest technological advancements in development at the moment. One of the largest and newest aircraft carriers in the US fleet, and the largest in the world today, the USS Gerald R Ford is anchored in the Solent, near Gosport, Hampshire. It is acknowledged that the USS Gerald R Ford CVN-78 is equipped with 23 new technologies, amongst them the Electromagnetic Aircraft Launch System, EMALS, the Advanced Arresting Gear (AAG), and Advanced Weapons Elevators (AWS). A Department of Defense Weapons Testing Authority report indicates that in January, the reliability targets were not met for EMALS, arresting gear, weapons, elevators, and dual-band radar, according to the report. According to the Director Operational Test and Evaluation (DOT&E), the Ford-class EMALS, AAG, AWE, and dual-band radar (DBR) are low reliability, which will affect the ship's flight operations for the foreseeable future. Although these systems had issues, they performed well on their maiden voyages, the EMALS launching smoothly and the AWE performing well on the security mission. Pilots commented on the smooth launch, and weapons handlers remarked on the performance of the AWE. A company commander at the Ford Group, Captain Paul Lanziotta, said that if the ship hadn't been performing well, it wouldn't have been at anchor in the Solent. Commander Richard Rosenbusch, Ford's assistant air officer, described the weapons elevators as a game-changer because they removed the need for weapons handling from the flight deck. As a result of the structure of Ford's flight deck, hangar and elevators, he said that the carrier's sortie generation was improved. A ship equipped with in-deck refueling and electricity stations means aircraft need not be turned around with cables and hoses stretched across the flight deck. Furthermore, Rosenbusch pointed out that EMALS provided a smoother and more precise ride than steam catapults used on previous generations of aircraft carriers. The Nimitz catapult usually releases aircraft at takeoff speed within 1 kT of what is required to get airborne. EMALS can launch aircraft at that speed within 1 kT of what is required. As a result of the system, airframes are less stressed. To calculate the required force, the aircraft's computers use a number of parameters. As he was with the WAV-124 Bear Aces E-2D, Lieutenant Andrew Meekins said Ford was equipped with extremely advanced technology during his time with the unit. According to Rosenbusch, Ford developed cutting-edge technologies with a generational speed that was much faster than other carriers' incremental improvements. According to him, there is no doubt that Ford's maiden deployment was a phenomenal success, with over 60 aircraft embarked, the largest number of aircraft that the carrier has ever deployed, including F-18 Super Hornets, EA-18G Growlers, E-2D Hawkeyes, C-2AR Greyhounds, and MH-60R helicopters. A key feature of Ford's updated weapons elevators is their ability to use electromagnetic propulsion instead of hydraulics or cables, said Commander Jim Fish, Ford's gun boss. This means no significant problems occurring during the deployment process. The Ford aircraft wing now possesses 11 airborne waiting engines, of which 4 are aimed at the flight deck and 7 are aimed at the ammunition handling area. These airborne waiting engines are energy-driven, which means they are not powered by hydraulics or cables. Also, blast doors are capable of being closed so that safety can be enhanced as well. Having a lifting capacity of 10,886 kilograms and a speed of 150 feet per minute, the AWE is able to generate sorties by moving more ammunition through it, which is one of the characteristics of this flagship ship. It handles boards 50% faster than Nimitz-class carriers and is able to generate sorties by moving more ammunition through it. AWE features internal batteries, which will be induction charged once they arrive on each deck, so the AWE will require a less maintenance crew in the future. Their weapons elevators will also require less maintenance crew in the future, since cables and hydraulics have been removed from them. According to the 2021 DOT&E report, Shepard asked Fish about the performance of the AWE elevators. Fish replied that according to their real-life operational experience, the elevators had worked perfectly. He explained that during major ammunition loadings before deployment, there was no problem with the elevators at all. It is the first time it has been outside of North America. On the huge flight deck of the plane, which has become a major focal point of the Top Gun Maverick movie, you will see more than 20 aircraft, including many F-18 jets. Captain Paul Lanzilotta, the commanding officer of the warship, which is the first in a new class of aircraft carriers, said, "This ship is badass. I will just put it that way. It's a really great system of systems. High technology is everywhere you walk on this ship." He added, "We have a little bit of the new car feel. There's a lot of buzz about the biggest, baddest warship of the fleet, and our sailors feel that." He added, "The US aircraft carrier brings with it power projection. It's a visible statement of presence wherever we go. It shows commitment to our allies and to peace and stability in the region." A number of advanced weapons elevators (AWEs) have been installed on the ship in order to increase the resupply capabilities for fighter jets through electromagnetism, which is one of the ship's technological innovations. The lifts on the Nimitz-class US aircraft carriers are capable of handling loads up to 24,000 pounds at a speed much greater than the previous Nimitz-class US aircraft carriers. With its Plasma Arc Waste Destruction System (PAWDS) in place, the ship's environmental credentials can be enhanced as well. It can also burn up to 3,000 pounds of waste at temperatures of up to 5,200 degrees Celsius, resulting in a reduction of 100 pounds of waste to 1 pound. There has been an announcement made by the Pentagon that the US aircraft carriers USS Gerald R Ford and USS George H.W. Bush will be participating in a NATO exercise across Europe in order to demonstrate NATO's interoperability with aircraft carriers from France, Italy, and the United Kingdom. Both of these American carrier strike groups will operate with their envoys and their accompanying air wings and escorts over the North Atlantic Ocean, the North Sea, and the Mediterranean Sea during their deployments. It would be appropriate to mention that this group of ships includes the Royal Navy's HMS Queen Elizabeth, the Italian carrier ITS Cavour, and the French aircraft carrier FS Charles de Gaulle. It is believed that the military operations in the Euro-Atlantic region will help Allied nations demonstrate NATO interoperability and cohesion while coordinating critical combat forces within this region, according to Deputy Pentagon Press Secretary Sabrina Singh. As well as testing Allied cooperation, NATO can also practice deterrent and defense concepts in all of its operational, geographical, and functional areas, in addition to testing Allied cooperation. After replacing the Harry S. Truman Carrier Strike Group with the George H.W. Bush Carrier Strike Group, the George H.W. the Bush Carrier Strike Group is now operating in the Mediterranean. It was the first time in several years that two US aircraft carriers have been in the Mediterranean together. After the two aircraft carriers were in the Mediterranean together for just a short period of time, both aircraft carriers headed back to Norfolk. As part of his deployment, Truman also exercised with Charles de Gaulle and Cavour whilst he was on his way. As of FY 2023, CVN-78 will cost $13.3 billion to purchase, making it the USN's first new aircraft carrier in 40 years. Over 100,000 tons of cargo will be moved by the Ford-class carriers, which measure 332.8 meters long, 40.8 meters wide, and 7.8 meters deep. There are two nuclear reactors powering Ford, giving it a maximum speed of 30 knots. The flight deck measures 78 meters wide.